as one of the guests was also mentioning just now, it's one of the best aircraft that we have right now, and it's perhaps the first catastrophic loss of a Boeing 787 Dreamliner that we have seen since its introduction. And when I spoke to my sources, especially the people who are now going to be looking into the investigation of this particular accident, they suggested that, it is quite shocking. Even they found it a little strange as to how come an aircraft like a Dreamliner, a Boeing Dreamliner, could fall and crash like this. What could have really gone wrong? So even they are a little surprised right now because, the clue is going to be in the black box. Why is it that the pilot had to give a Mayday call soon after takeoff? What we have learned from sources in terms of initial analysis, Swati, is that this aircraft is not, an ordinary aircraft. It's quite a high-tech aircraft. It's not easy for this kind of an aircraft to crash under, very normal circumstances. There are layers of electronic control that are there, so they also found it a little strange. Of course, nobody can say what was the reason really. All of that will come out in the investigation, but even the authorities who are now going to be probing this and the experts that we've been speaking with are a bit shocked as to what could have possibly gone wrong with this particular plane.
Well, based on the information that the sources are sharing, Dr. Singh, something horribly wrong has happened. That's the reason why, right after the takeoff, within minutes, just 5 minutes, the crash landing takes place. And that's the question I was asking you earlier. That the takeoff must have happened after all sorts of clearances were given, a go-ahead was given.
Absolutely. Firstly, do you read me strength 5?
I can hear you. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes. So my thing is, like you see in the visuals, it's first of all, it's very rare for a Dreamliner to behave like that. And of course, there are speculations, and that will only come out when the flight data box is recovered. But it could have been a massive electrical or software system failure as well. Think about it. Total electrical failure that disrupts the FADEC, which is the full authority digital engine control system. That means that the pilot has no control and is actually saying Mayday, 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 which he did within a minute of it. And this is a flight, as we rightfully said, fully loaded, taking off for a long haul 9-hour flight. Do not forget what happened to the Qantas Flight 72 in 2008. Not engine failure, but it shows how electrical and software glitches can immediately disrupt the flight and take the flight out of the control of the pilot. It remains to be seen. Also, one thing that is really clearly visible is that it is tail heavy.
Yes.
And this is what that I've been talking right from the beginning. Of course, like you're saying, all the regulatory checks were done, all the mandatory checks were done, the engineering did its job, but I'm questioning the weight balance, the trim balance, all of it, because it looks tail heavy. Was it that there was a misinterpretation or a miscalculation of that? Could that be the reason? That it just could not take that thrust despite all the provisions that are provided in an excellent equipment like the Dreamliner? That could be also one of the reasons that needs to be looked into at this point of time. I do believe that because it was totally getting out of hand and Mayday, Mayday, Mayday call was given, that it should immediately have come back on the airfield itself, where it took off from Ahmedabad. But that also was not possible, and it immediately went out of control and crashed. So it could be a total software, electrical, complete failure, which went out of the control of the pilots. This is my view. Over to you.
So when you say tail heavy, and I'm going to come